Okay. I am resident of color with YouTube Jules saying that my buddy Patrick McCray is my buddy Alan Gallant. We are here to review Star Trek Insurrection. Uh, guys, I'm going to let you guys continue discussion. Go ahead. I'm going to go check on my kids. I'll be right back.
Because he cares.
He does, but he doesn't want to hear it all twice.
Yeah. Yeah. As I've been saying, I love
Yeah.
this movie. Alan has a lot of problems with it,
I do. It's
but
terrible.
I love the film desperately, and have been trying to convince him of its
Yes, I
reality.
know. Well, you know.
Okay, so spoiler alert. I'm not a huge fan of the movie. I have some ethical issues with it. And I also just I think it's a little tepid. And Alan, a big fan of Stephen Sondheim's Passion, starring Donna Murphy,
Yes.
is a great fan of it, and so we've been having probably our most lively and spirited difference of visions that we've had, and I've been enjoying it. So Alan, I'll let you take it away.
Yes, and I think I can say also, in all honesty, I am in agreement that there are flaws in this movie. But also, my take is that it's a movie that's about an hour and 45 minutes long, and this only so much you can do. Notwithstanding the ethical issues that you bring up and will bring up again, I found the movie to be interesting in terms of human flaws or the flaws of the living heart, whether they be human or alien or whatnot. Um, I think we're in agreement that we think that the semi immortal people that live on this planet are somewhat bigoted against their former selves, against a being that happens to be technological in nature. And there are some things going on with that. And also, it's interesting because they've deliberately decided to isolate themselves. And the irony is that the young people who left them 100 years ago, because they didn't want to be isolated, have returned because they want the gift of the radiation that kept them young in the first place. And now they're old and they're decrepit and they're holding themselves together by stretching their skin and doing all this weird stuff to themselves and taking shots and all sorts of awful stuff.
Yeah.
And so
It's like a Playmate reunion.
Obviously, they've set these people up, the returnees, who are very aggressive and very much want this. And in the case of several of them, have homicidal tendencies towards their former cohabitors on the planet. And we find out that they're both the same people. They're both exactly the same people. It's just that one environment outside of that planet has caused aging and so on. And they've tried to, ironically, they've tried to use technology to fight against that aging, or rather than the radiation that they had on the planet to begin with that did it for them. But I can understand why they want to leave, because it's a very isolating situation and it's a very sort of provincial society of 600 and something people. But at the same time, I think there's a moral thing you can talk about with that. At the same time, you've also got an overtly immoral thing going on with aggression and attacking and kidnapping and things that are happening on behalf of this, and also one particular Federation official who is a complete morass, ethically.
Are you talking about Admiral Dougherty?
Yes, yeah. Yes, as wonderfully played by Anthony Zerbe, and also F. Murray Abraham is brilliant in this movie. I think in terms of his the way that he inhabits passion. The way
really shows his taste in casting.
Yeah,
and he has great taste in casting.
Yes, absolutely. So I mean, there are obvious this going on, which there are in an action sci-fi movie. You're going to have that, but also you have decision making problems, and Picard, and I'll let you talk about how the actors felt about it and when they were queried, and how that went.
Well, Roger Ebert, one of his more interesting reviews.
I'm right here.
Yeah, one of his more interesting reviews featured a discussion about the
Yeah.
morality of the film, and he basically said, "Look, you're displacing these people, 600 people, just sort of changing their environment a little bit was going to result in, life for billions.
Right.
When you
The
do
whole needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
yeah, wouldn't the ethos of so many of these films. So when you do it, and they all, John Frake said, "Well, yeah, I guess I would," and so did Brent Spiner, so did Donna Murphy, so did Patrick Stewart. They all had that to say. So that immediately kind of is a phony baloney, I mean, God, the cast can't even get behind the freaking director thinks the movie has some
Well, they're
weird
also the
philosophical
cast
flaws.
members are not players in the 23rd century out in the blackness of space.
They're the writers. Neither of the writers, and it's an interesting movie especially from the point of view of how it got made. Michael Piller had a book that never got published, which you can find sort of floating around. I'll see if I have a copy of it. Talking about the making of the film, and it took a long time to write, and it was because this is the irony of Stewart and Spiner not liking the movie. Success has a bunch of fathers and failures and orphan. Well, so that meant that there's a lot of fathers involved, allegedly, in First Contact, and they all wanted more power in the new movie, and they all got it. And Stewart and Spiner wanted a light film. It's like, oh no, and Star Trek's never been really good with light. Star Trek 4 being the exception that proves the rule.
Yeah, I was about to say that there are episodes within a movie that it could be light, yeah, but not the whole theme.
It's because the premise is so interesting.
Right.
It's like DS9 Little Green Men, which is the Roswell episode.
Yes.
Or a piece of the action. And those could go any way you wanted. But decided, well, this could be a light one. Rather than, man, I got this great story about the son in the Baku. We got to tell this. So originally the movie was called Stardust, Star Trek Stardust. And they didn't know what to do with that. So
sounds like a bad musical.
Yeah, well, it was Patrick Stewart's idea, and it was just supposed to be a big romance for Captain Picard. I don't know with Data or not, but
it sounds like some envy going on with with Shatner or something.
That, and I think Patrick Stewart's a fairly romantically guy, is what I've heard. He likes to give the gift of love.
Oh, yes.
As frequently as he can. So I think some of his own ethos appeared in that. So, having said that, we have a clear idea of sort of where the movie is coming from, and more people got involved. And there's this weird other plot about. Michael Piller doesn't say it's a mess because he wrote it. It was the last thing he wrote. Yeah. Especially coming off of First Contact.
Well, yes. I mean, that's clearly the best of any of the Next Generation movies.
I think it's best of just we can even take Next Generation out of it and just Star Trek movies.
Yes, it's I mean, that and Wrath of Khan probably.
Yeah, after 2, 3, and 4, then you've got First Contact, and then probably 6 after that. Yeah, Jewel, are you back?
I'm here.
We love it.
Okay, so this, for those who don't know, this movie was directed by Jonathan Frakes. Screenplay was by Michael Piller, as Patrick was saying. Story by Rick Berman and Michael Piller, based on Star Trek by Gene Roddenberry, obviously. Cinematographer was Matthew F. Leonetti. Music by Jerry Goldsmith here, so he's back. Release date, December 11th, 1998. Budget was $70 million for this movie. Box office, $118 million. I first saw this movie today. Now, I did like it a lot. Well, because it's very fast paced, very action moving. I like that aspect of Star Trek. I will say the biggest, I would say the biggest flaw of this movie, or not necessarily flaw, but issue I have overall, where they don't make enough time, or because again, this is not a long movie at all. Is though this does kind of make the film interesting, it makes Anthony Zerbe's character interesting. Because Anthony Zerbe's character is having a discussion with Picard, and he said, "This is what Starfleet wants." What you're never really clear about is, okay, who exactly goes to Starfleet with this? Was it Zerbe's character, or was it the other?
Yeah,
Was
and
it
what
the
kind of
villain?
story was Starfleet getting about this whole thing?
Right,
Because
right,
clearly there were some serious
right.
problems.
That's where
Like
you're
management is just corrupt as hell.
right,
I mean, we
Yeah,
saw Star Trek 6.
yeah.
yeah, right. But you're never. It's never clear of who they're getting the story from, or who they got the story from. Was it from Zerbe's character? Was it from F. Murray Abraham's character? And I would get what I took from this after only one watch, because again, I only watched this today, was they probably got it from Zerbe's character. Um, I love F. Murray Abraham's villain. He's really good. He's a hell of a heel. And Zerbe's character, yeah, he comes across like an arrogant ass, and he should, but he's not a full fledged heel here either. He's in the
No,
middle.
he has serious ethical problems
Yeah, yeah,
as a
yeah.
person.
Which I'm okay with. You can, I can understand that here because he
Well,
sees
he's a conduit for all this mess. You
right,
know.
right.
You got to admit, this movie would have been better if Evan Marie Abraham had played the role as being the same character as he played in the Ritz. Can you imagine how great that would be? Including the red underwear. He would
Yeah.
only appear in the
I
red
was
underwear.
about to say it would be like a 90s version of a Batman villain. Put him in a funky costume, have him running around.
You know, Baron von Twink.
Yeah, exactly. Call him Baron von Twink.
But I like these sort of sorry if I cut any of you guys off, but I did like the fountain of youth aspect we get here. I like that story. I like the culture aspect we get here because again, they're young, but again, they're so isolated and not around civilization. This is why they don't understand technology and certain
Like a
things.
Northern California commune, for God's sakes.
There you go.
A clean one.
There you go. There you go. There you go. That's perfect. But and they are in every way. They don't. They've not been around technology. This is basic. I won't say caveman because they're not cavemen.
No,
But it's like they've never they look at data like what the hell is that?
they're supposedly highly advanced, but they're never asked to prove it.
Right.
Deluvian.
That's one thing I didn't take note of.
Yes.
They're never asked to prove it, and so they're running around looking for caves.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Franks has a great story in the commentary for this. And
Yeah.
it's a wonderful, wonderful lesson in just the basic mechanics of filmmaking and perception, where he was dealing with some cast member or somebody who, or no, it was like a grip or a gaffer. Thought he was going to be a real wise guy. And he said, "Now wait, we're done these caves. Where's the light coming from?" And Frank said, "Same place the music is coming from."
Seriously.
Yeah. It's like fuck you. It's come on, guy. Don't be such a pedant.
Yes. Where's the light coming? This is not Barry Linton.
Barry Lyndon, yeah. Same place the music's coming from.
That's right.
I would say that I guess my biggest question with the time constraint of not knowing exactly who vouched for what is I would wonder what was giving Stewart and all them, power sort of worth all that. Like because it's like you can have too many cooks in the kitchen. And that's the case here, I would say.
Yeah.
On some of that.
Which is I think why Rick Berman on the next film just said, you know what, guys, we're gonna have one writer.
Yeah.
Jonathan, you couldn't control these kids on the last one.
Well,
You're
yeah.
you're on the naughty step,
Yeah.
and we're
And
bringing in someone who doesn't know anything about Star Trek
it's
whatsoever.
bad enough you're going to have 6 producers putting their fingers in it without having 12 writers at the same time.
We're gonna have one, John Logan, and he's really good.
Yes.
And we're gonna let him be really good.
Yeah.
Because the sneak preview coming attractions, I think the most underrated Star Trek movie going on is Star Trek Nemesis. I think it's got a lot of good stuff in it.
And it didn't get a fair shake when it came out.
Oh, it sure as hell didn't. It was in the shadow of Lord of the Rings, one of Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah.
And I think there'd been a little Trek fatigue.
Not the shit out of
Not
that
Logan's
movie.
fault.
No, not at all. Not at all. Or anybody else's fault for that matter. I always liked it. I was told not to a few times, but
got crazy about the Argo, about the combat truck that they have, and the technological issues that, without ever asking, well, wait a minute. In emergency situations, in difficult situations, in situations where even our energy is somewhat constricted.
Yeah.
A wheeled vehicle can be very efficient.
Yes. Why not?
And I'm sure there were other vehicles on the Enterprise or hovercrafts and things like that, but they didn't need them here. And from a storytelling point of view, it's a big budget movie. Relieving the budget a little bit of having to make land speeders is not a bad thing.
No. Save it for the really good stuff.
That's right. And it's a big movie.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll talk about that tomorrow. But we tend to be fans of the guy here. So yeah.
But this movie to me is really, really good. I loved it from start to finish. Again, I loved it from start to finish.
Look, I agree with you in this way. I indulge myself in all the fun action and all of that stuff, and also the sort of the surprises that pop up here and there and all that sort of stuff. So I admit that I indulge myself in that.
This is like the second movie in a row. It's almost like in his contract that Picard ends the film in a tank top, hanging off of
something.
Now we haven't mentioned the incredibly phallic end of the movie involving a joystick rising to action in the middle of the bridge.
Actually, manual joystick on command.
You want to hear it go boy as he approaches it, and then saying the words "ram scoop" over and over.
Then he reaches for it like this.
I will say to you, I was waiting for the Atari to be right in front.
Yeah, seriously.
I just wanted to see a score on the view screen.
Whip, 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 whip.
Or for him to put on one of those Nintendo gloves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. The Power Glove was shit, by the way. That was.
I have to admit, as goofy as the joystick is, it kind of makes sense. I mean, it would be hard to pilot such a massive vehicle, but it just goes to show of the superiority of the computers.
Yes.
And it did get a lot of horse shit out of the way of just storytelling.
Yeah.
It's a very Star Warsian kind of, it's a Star Wars solution.
Sure. It's
Star Trek problem.
It's also a great way to build tension and preparation. And here we go, we're holding our breath now, that kind of stuff. So yeah, works on a multitude of levels that way, but it's also very Atari. Absolutely.
When McCray shaves his beard. I don't remember. I didn't think that this. That's the next one. Smooth as an Android bottom.
Yes, he was totally smooth.
Yeah. Because Deanna shaves him to get married.
Yes, basically she goes, let me kiss you with a beard. Get the hell out of my cabin.
It just there should have been a dark shot of Frakes going, turnabout's fair play.
And just cuts away and doesn't linger too long. Yeah. Turnabout's fair play.
It's kind of like moving around the rest of the movie. You gotta keep doing it.
Every day.
Oh my god! What's some of you guys' favorite scenes in this movie?
Picard with the wacky thing on his head.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Alan, I think before you showed up, I came up with a variant on the plot where that alien race that forces him to put the wacky thing on his head
Yes.
to do the ceremony or whatever. That the glue is from their sister civilization, like the Sonabaku thing,
Yeah.
and that they're very mysterious, and they get the glue, but it doesn't occur to them they don't have the solvent. And so Picard has this thing stuck in his head,
For
and
the
it's
whole movie.
going on a quest just to find the shit to take this off of his head. That's a great plot. Star Trek Headspace.
Beams down to the planet, and everybody goes, "It's Liza."
That looks like Liza.
Yeah.
Alan,
Hey, you wanted a musical, Patrick. Here it is.
There.
Al, what's some of your favorite series?
Well, that was pretty funny, actually. But it's weird. I enjoyed these little intimate scenes as well as the action stuff. I mean, I really like the inner space action stuff. I like that. It's very much how I like to seat at least an aspect of Star Trek in my mind. But I also really like the cool stuff between the kid and Data. Mm-hmm. That was kind of fun because that was something that was a development. I like. It was fun. I remember when I first saw this movie. Daniel Hugh Kelly. He's in everything right now, because he was. He'd been in a ton of stuff. So
I'll tell you, there was a thing in the movie I really liked, and I've been ashamed to admit it, but I'll admit it now. Because it's a very cheesy bit of writing and cheesy bit of filmmaking, but sometimes life is cheesy.
So it's like season 3 of the original series, right?
Well, no, not quite. Not that much. It's a little more touching than that. Mm-hmm. It's Anisha's description of perfect moments in time. Where everything stops and the hummingbird is going slowly and so on.
Yes, that's a very cool effect that she did there.
It's a cool effect, but moreover, it was nice to have the filmmakers, even if it might be, sort of simple-minded or sugary or redundant, who cares? That has been a metaphor in my mind since I saw the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And that, if I could
philosophical movie, stuff, yeah.
That idea of just moments in time where everything stops.
Yeah.
And that's one of them. I really appreciated that.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah.
Some of my favorite scenes. I love the scene where Picard, when he was dancing to the music, then he stops, looks different, like, wait a minute, they're young, they're younger. How long have they been like this? He has that realization then.
Yeah, because he sees it in himself. He sees he's lost a line on his face or something, or his jawline looks younger. Mm-hmm. That's a nice little realization moment, a nice little acting moment.
Yeah, and I love all the fast-paced action sequences we get. I love Data in this is really, really good. You get a lot of development from him. And I love F. Murray Abraham as villain. He is sinister to the core, and he does a very good job. Zerby's character was really good for this sense. You never knew exactly where he was or whose side he was on either way until the end. You realize, okay, he's not a complete shithead.
No, but he acted like one, unfortunately.
Yeah. Great
he
job.
Made too many mistakes for too long.
Yeah.
So it's time for the face stretch. But yeah.
Great job by Zerby. Just great acting all around.
That alone. What is up with Anthony's head being attacked in movies again and again?
I know.
In License to Kill, it blows up, and this one
yes.
How many different head casts does Anthony Zerby have in his garage?
Oh my god! Scale 1 to 10, what you guys give the movie?
I'm gonna give it a 9 just because I had fun with it.
I was gonna give it an 8.
I give us an 11. I love this movie. It's a lot of fun.
I mean, I liked a lot about it.
Yeah. Nemesis. Are you guys good for Nemesis tomorrow?
It would
Yeah.
be, yep, absolutely.
Okay.
I got tomorrow off, so I can watch it at my leisure. So
All right. Is there anything you guys want to add about insurrection before we go?
No, but leisure is a great way to pronounce it. Just like you pronounce it mustache. Not
yes,
mustache. A
yeah,
mustache.
mustache. Yes,
Mustache. Mustache. Yeah.
and it's either or either depending on the situation. So
Yeah.
Link to Patrick McCray's Dark Shadows Daybook and Battle will be in the description box. Link to Alan Gallant's YouTube channel, Cullen Sport After Dark, will be in the description box. You guys have a great night. Stay safe. I'll see you tomorrow night.
yeah.
You.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah.